What if everything we see, feel, and touch isn't real? What if we've been trapped in a digital illusion, an invisible prison built to keep us asleep? We're going to look at some matrix simulations and how to break the code and finally escape. Let's get into it.
In 2010, there's this woman who's looking at family photos, and she comes across this photo, Disneyland, 1988, and her two brothers are posing in front of the fountain with one of the seven dwarfs. And she shows it to her husband. Her husband looks at the photo, and he grabs it, and he dials in, and he goes, "That's me." And she's like, "What?" And he's like, "That's me." And she's like, "What do you mean that's you? That's me and my brothers." She goes, "No, that is me." And in the back, there's a man pushing a stroller, and it's his dad pushing him. Both people at Disneyland. She came from New York, he came from Wisconsin, and they both met for that photo at that exact time without ever knowing one another, and end up married.
Wow.
16 years later. So explain that. Two families, different states, thousands of miles apart, on one path. How do you explain this possible overlap? Science can actually explain this. It happens to a lot of people. So psychologists have documented hundreds and thousands of cases just like this, where couples, friends, even complete strangers find out that they were in each other's childhood photos, or videos, or even home movies of one another. One study found out that in 3,000 random photos, the subject contained a person that they would meet later in life. That's 2% of the photos. That is 60 photos. In 60 photos, the subject contained a person that they would meet later in life. That's 60 photos of lives unknowingly colliding. The likelihood of that happening is 1 in 10 million, but if you add in systems theory, it changes dramatically.
It's crazy.
And we find out that human travel, behavior, emotion is not random at all. We are not moving randomly. We are moving in patterns, recursion, cyclical, loops, attractors. We think we're making choices, but systems theory says that we're just following a path that was always there. Now pairing that with simulation theory and the idea of narrative convergence. And then you'll find out that your life is not a straight line, it's a script with checkpoints. So science says there's certain people that you have to meet, and reality will bend in order for that to happen. Reality will bend to get you there. So simulation theory states that moments are fixed, and if you miss them, it'll loop you right back into the same moment until you learn how to fix it. So how are you gonna get out of the matrix? And remember, the system does not need or even care if you believe in it. It just needs you to follow the script. So what are you going to do to escape the matrix?
Footage that I booked on Airbnb. If you go in the closet, they have these books all in here, but they have a couple DVDs down here, and there's only 4 of them here, okay? So here's the DVDs. Ronin, Sahara, and
I have
Hardball. This last one's some old movie, okay? So let me prove that we are in a matrix here. So these movies here are from like the year 2000. They're all old ones. They're not even that popular, right? So I go on my Netflix. Well, it's not my Netflix. It's the person who owns this cottage. Go to the trending page, okay? So if I scroll over on trending page, watch what happens. There's the movie Hardball.
No way.
Which they have, okay? Number
It's an
1.
old movie.
Let's keep going.
Why would it be trending?
Oh, look. Sahara.
What?
That's the other movie that's down there, right?
Yeah.
Now let's keep going. See if there's anything else on here. Oh, Ronin. Which this is a different Ronin movie, but it's the same spelling as this one here. Ronin, Hardball, Sahara. Okay? So what's going on here? So literally 4 DVDs. What's the chances that they're all on the trending page? The trending page only has like 30 movies on here. Most of these are old. This movie is from 2013. Sahara is from 2005, which is even older. And the movie Hardball, I believe, is 2001, which is even older. Let's see. Hardball, 2001. So what's the chances those 3 movies just happen to be on the trending page of all things? Are we in the matrix? Does this prove it? Figure out why the universe wants me to look into these 3 movies. I've never seen any of them. So when you look at the back of them, it gets interesting. This one is about a new world order and goes further in detail. Just one connect there. And then this movie here is about the ultimate treasure hunt. You know, I think they end up finding treasure and they end up investigating and finding all that good stuff. And then Hardball, this movie's about a guy who runs like a baseball team and he does sports betting. So I think it's very interesting that this movie's about sports betting, this one's about finding treasure, and this one is about New World Order, mercenaries, whatever. And you combined all three of them, it's kind of like gematria, finding treasure, sports gematria, betting, you know, exposing New World Order. Is this why I'm showing these 3 DVDs here?
Your reality renders like a video game. The gym does not objectively exist if you aren't in it. In 2022, the Nobel Prize winners for physics proved the universe is not locally real, which quite literally means if you are not observing an object, it does not exist. It feels weird because it goes against all of our instincts, but it's not too hard to imagine in today's world. It's very much like a video game. Anytime you let your consciousness enter the game, you play the game, it will render. It's like your character in a video game. It renders. If you go to the same castle every time, you're gonna see the same things every time because the code exists. But if you stop playing the game and turn it off, the game doesn't objectively exist. But if you go back into the game, it will always pop up the same way.
But really, if space is a vacuum, how come it doesn't suck up our atmosphere and like us and cars and houses? Why doesn't it suck everything up into the atmosphere or into the vacuum of space? Is gravity really that strong? But it can't pull an airplane out of the sky unless it's turned off? What? Proof we live in a simulation? How come babies don't come out of the womb wrinkly, but I get in the bathtub for 30 minutes and like my fingers are all wrinkly? But babies aren't after 10 months in the water of their mama's womb? They should come out looking like old grandpas. Why aren't landfills like full of raccoons? Why aren't they swarming with raccoons? Like raccoons love our trash cans, right? Like that's all they go for, trash cans and dog food. Why don't they find their way to the landfill? That's raccoon heaven! If we have lotteries for like states, counties, countries, all over the place, every single day, multiple ones every single day, why aren't there like 1 million lottery winners everywhere? Like why don't we ever see them? Why don't we ever meet them? It's public information who these people are. Like, why don't we have so many of them walking around, millionaires? Who's winning this lottery? Is it really a trap for time travelers? That's a good question. I'm asking it.
So someone posed a really good question. A113. Let's talk about it. So A113 shows up in a lot of cartoons, a lot of films.
It does.
All that kind of stuff. Check this out.
Oh, see, there's so many.
Now, the official narrative is that it's a room at the California Institute of Arts where a lot of animators took a class. That's the official story. I find it really interesting because symbolism is very important in the entertainment industry. What do you guys think? Do you believe the official narrative, or do you think there's something more to it?
Okay, my matrix theory is we all know when they're in the matrix and they're plugged in, it has a green tint on it. And when they're in Zion, whenever they're unplugged from the matrix, they're in Zion, home. What if Zion is just another simulation that the robots made to keep all the people that they knew would realize eventually that this was a simulation, and that Morpheus could eventually convince these people to take red pills?
Yeah.
I think Morpheus is part of the simulation too, and he didn't even realize, but that's another story. But what if every time someone took a red pill, they were just entering another simulation? Because the robots were smart enough to know if people want to break out the simulation, they're gonna go where? We could just bring them here, so we could just be controlling them here. We can be controlling them in the first matrix and the second matrix.
I was going for a run when all of a sudden a man stops diagonal from me, looks at me dead in my eyes and goes, "I'm so sorry for what I'm about to do." He then flips around and sprints away. And before he flipped around and sprinted away, I was like, okay, I'm about to be assaulted, no big deal, whatever. But no, he stops like maybe 50 feet in front of me and goes, looks at me dead in my eyes again and says, "Do you know what I just did?" And I was like, no. And then he proceeds to say, "I just crop dusted you." First of all, how do you respond to that? Second of all, he didn't just flip around again and like run off. He like flipped around in a really fun way and like gallivanted and frolicked as if he was in a field.
Wow.
I felt like I just...
You want me to tell you how I know that we're living in a simulation? People always throw out the airport thing where it's like, you're telling me that all these people are going from Tallahassee to Oklahoma City at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday? Not like
Never thought about that.
You give me the airport option, and I raise you with the dentist office illusion. I live in a small town in Florida. Anytime that I drive by during working hours, while I'm out running errands for work, going to the store, going to a job, the dentist office is always full of cars in the parking lot. You're telling me that every day, 50 plus people at any given time during the day are at the dentist.
In a small town?
Doesn't
No.
make sense to me. Nothing's real. Everything's an illusion.
Y'all see how there's no cars behind me, right? You know, watch by the time I get to my house, there's gonna be cars driving right near me. Watch this. Just pay attention.
No cars there. Not a single one.
By the time I reach my yard, there's gonna be a bunch of cars, bro. Watch. Can't make this up. Just watch. I'm about to turn in to go to my yard. Right? Now watch when I'm about to hit the door. Going into my gate. But who do we have here? A bunch of cars, like I said.
How?
1, 2, 3, 4,
Where did they come
5,
from?
6.
That's a lot.
7.
It was
8.
just empty. It's crazy.
Boy, I tell you, boy.
You're right.
I know what I be talking about.
You should swallow one piece of gum every 7 years. Okay, so we all know we live in a big simulation, right? Everything around us is computer generated, right? But there's one thing that isn't part of the simulation. That's gum. Gum is weird. You chew it. You could just chew forever. That's because gum comes from outside of the simulation. Gum is real. Okay, so you also know if you swallow gum, it stays in your system for 7 years. And every cell in your body changes every 7 years, right? And the 7-year itch, you change personalities every 7 years. That's because every 7 years, they come from the outside, and they take you away and put a whole new you in there, and they can change you any way they want. But if you swallow the gum, then they can't, because the gum locks you in place, because the gum is real. Gum is their weakness. Swallow one piece every 7 years. Any more than that, you might get a stomach ache, but one piece every...
So by now, we should all agree that we live in a simulation. And if this is a simulation, then there's an algorithm. And if you're on social media, I really hope that you understand how social media algorithms work. Because the algorithm in real life or in the life simulation works the exact same way. That is, what you pay attention to and interact with presents itself in the simulation. So you should know, since you're on social media, that the videos and the content that you watch the most and interact with will trigger the algorithm to give you more of that content.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of people in my comments sometimes that are like, why do I keep getting this type of content? Alien content and UFO content and spirituality content. And I'm like, because you're interacting with it. Whether you like the content or not, the fact that you stopped what you're doing, watched the entire video, and then commented that on the video, triggered the algorithm to bring you more of that content, whether you like it or not. Whether your comments on those posts are positive or negative, the algorithm doesn't know. It just gives you more of that
Makes
content.
sense.
Now, the life simulation that we're in does the exact same thing. The more you pay attention to things, whether it's because you like those things or you hate those things, the more the life simulation will give you more of those experiences and people and situations because you're focusing on them and interacting with them. This is the ultimate simulation cheat code. So if you want your simulation to give you the things that you want, stop interacting with, focusing on, and paying attention to the things or content that you don't like, that you don't want. Stop saying, I hate this and I hate that. Stop telling all of your friends and anyone who can listen all the things that are wrong in your life, because you're telling the simulation's algorithm to give you more of that. If you want the simulation to give you more of the things that you enjoy and want in your life, like peace, love, money, success, whatever it is, only focus on those things that bring you peace, love, joy, success. Even if it's just a couple little things, really hone in and focus on those things.
This matrix is headed for a hard reset. Ever since 2020, you've noticed the Karens, the Kevins coming out.
Oh, yeah.
All these glitches and people. And then now you have the narcissist collapse happening. Man, these people are everywhere. All these entities or avatars that are used by the dark side are more and more obvious. And you have more and more people awakening, seeing this happening. Something is shifting. Our world is changing. And these narcissistic people and non-player characters out here,
NPCs,
they just keep playing the old world script. They can't change with this place. The shift is more and more obvious every day, every year. Time is speeding by like crazy. We are headed for something big. So whatever you have to do spiritually, religiously, you better do it.
Wow, I totally agree. The moment we stop believing the illusion is the moment we start to escape the matrix. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share. I would love to read your comments. It's all free, and I would really appreciate it. It would help the channel out tremendously. And until next time, stay safe, stay aware, and question everything.